Okay, so we've just read a book about chicken licking. Now, at the end of the story, Ducky Lucky told him that it wasn't the sun that had fallen on his head, was it? It was just a nut. I wonder how Chicken Licking felt. I think he felt really silly, didn't he? What might he have done? He might have ran off with a red face, because your face sometimes gets red if you feel a little bit silly. Right, how can I say that? How can I tell people how Chicken Licking felt? Chicken Licking felt really silly and ran off with a red face. That's what I'm going to say about how he felt. Chicken Licking. Now, we've read that in the book, so we know what it looks like. Chicken. Chick. Chicken. Let's say it slowly. Chicken. 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 Chick. Now, could use just the C, couldn't we? Or the K, or it might be the CK. Did it look like that? It did when we saw it in the book, didn't it, when we were reading it? Chicken. Sounds like in, but it was an N, the way they spelt it in the book. I remember the way it looked at the end. Chicken. Now, that was his name. So should we have a lowercase c or a capital C? They're both the same shape for those letters, but the capital C is much bigger. We need a capital C, don't we? N. Chicken Licking is his name. Now that rhymes. Chicken Licking. It rhymes, so I think we can just change the first letter. It's still his name, so we need a capital. Are they the same shape for the letter? No, different shaped letter for the capital L. N. Chicken Licking felt. Felt. The sound box again. Felt. 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 There is a sound there, isn't it? It's a bit hard to hear. Felt. Could hear the T at the end. There is a sound here. Let's see if we can hear what it is again. Fell. Yeah, it was an L. Felt. Felt. That looks right for felt, didn't it? Chicken Licking felt. Felt. Really. Now, that word reminds me of another word we know. Is there a part of that we know? Well, we've read the word Willy because it was a character's name, wasn't it? It was that beaver. Illy. Now, this is really. E. That digraph. E. So we know that end part. Really. Eely. Think of of words that we already know to see if there's a part that we know to help you with your spelling. Chicken Licking felt really silly. Well, this is really. What about silly? Must be the same chunk at the end. Silly. Chicken Licking felt really silly. What did he do? And ran off with a red face. And is a word we know. And ran. Don't think we need a sound box. We can just say that one slowly. Ran. Off is another word we know. What's the first sound? Off. Off. It's the first sound, so it's the first letter we write. Off. Off. And ran off with, that's another word we know, with What colour was his face? Because he was really embarrassed and he felt silly. Red, red, red. Face. Now face we spell like this. A. It's a tricky bit because the C is making it sound. Face. Ace. Okay, that's how we spell face. Chicken Licken felt really silly and ran off with a red face. Does that make sense? Is that what we wanted to say? We have to read it, don't we, to check it, because sometimes our writing doesn't say what we wanted it to say and we have to change it. Or perhaps we've used the wrong letters. We haven't heard all the sounds, or perhaps we've spelt it not the way that we usually see it when we read it. Chicken Licken felt really silly and ran off with a red face. I'm happy with that. It's quite embarrassing, so we might want to put an exclamation mark in to show the reader that when they read it, it's really quite embarrassing. Chicken Licken felt really silly and ran off with a red face. How do you think Chicken Licken felt, and what do you think he might have done? Maybe you could tell me.